What is going on, everybody? Somebody's backfiring out there. How's it going? Back. Home. 2 weeks is a long time on the road. I gotta tell you, it's, yeah, it's a lot. Here, hang on. I gotta mess with this exposure a little bit because I didn't do this ahead of time. There we go. Yeah. I think we did 6,000 miles on this trip, or 6,400 miles, something like that. And then I did 3,000 earlier in the month. Uh, Out to Colorado. So it's been a lot of traveling for me this month. Yeah, so I'm glad to be home, drinking out of my normal coffee cup, sitting in my normal chair. Back to 4K video. We were doing 1080 while we were on the road. It's faster. Yeah, so cool. Hey, so this morning I want to talk about used guitars. Um, this is another one of those areas where I think guitar players that have been playing for a while tend to sort of run over and not think about a new guitar. So we just did a post, I don't know, it was a couple weeks ago, about if the Harley Benton thing brought it up for me, having that guitar here. And I was like, okay, so what guitar would you actually recommend, for a new player? And I said new only new. But, nobody pays attention. Nobody actually reads. They just say what they're going to say anyway. And a lot of people are like, I would buy used. I would buy a used whatever. I don't agree. I think for a new guitar player, your nephew comes to you, your brother comes to you, your friend comes to you, says, I want to learn to play guitar. Unless you're going to give them one of yours as a gift, I would never recommend a new guitar player to buy a used guitar ever. It's like almost automatic. Some of these people are just like, buy used. Why? Well, because you can get more guitar for the money. Yeah, but they don't know that. They don't know what that means. They don't care about that. Um, if you were, would you want a scratched up used anything if it was the first one that you ever had? That makes no sense to me. It just makes no sense to me. If somebody was going to start playing golf, would you tell them to buy used golf clubs? If somebody was wanting to play, be a photographer, would you tell them to buy a used camera? I mean, I just don't get it. Sometimes it could be a mistake. And I guess in some hobbies, if the person just couldn't afford to do it at all, then maybe it would make sense. But then again, no, it wouldn't. And we're going to get into that. It's somehow some universal law that used is always better. And I don't, not universal, but you know what I mean? It just comes up so much. It's so stupid. I don't get it. I mean, to be fair, to buy a used guitar is for a new player again. Not you, a new player. You could, in some cases, in a lot of cases probably, get more guitar for the money. I get that. There could be a depreciation hit based on the brand, and that could be, taken up by somebody else instead of you, sort of like with a used car, it makes sense. And older guitars, some models can be really, really awesome, right? Obviously. Sometimes you can get a more premium guitar for the price of a used, or you can get like a more premium used guitar for the price of like a used intermediate guitar, or a new intermediate guitar. You know what I mean? That's all true if you already know guitars, but none of it's true if you don't. And new guitar players don't. They don't know anything. And you're going to say, well, I'm going to help them. Okay. They don't know fair prices. They don't know hidden damage. They don't know neck issues. They don't know bad repairs. They don't know whether something plays great. You know, it just has to be a good player. They don't know that stuff. They're learning it from the very beginning. They have no reference. They have no, this is a fat neck, this is a thin neck, nothing. Buying used, really, for anybody, actually, is more of an advanced purchase. You have to know more. And okay, I get that you're going to help them, but the other thing you do is you're sort of pulling the rug from underneath them. You know, a beginner is looking at the excitement and the potential and the desire and the overall experience of playing guitar, or in any hobby, of doing whatever the hobby is. Just like, this is exciting. I'm so stoked to do it. And when you start a hobby and you don't have one, you want your guitar. You don't want somebody else's guitar. You want to open the box. You want to peel the plastic off the pickguard. You want to smell it, because it's going to smell new, unless it's a Timu guitar, then it's going to smell like formaldehyde. You want to make it yours. Like, that's part of it. That's part of it. And I think one of the biggest things that drives me insane about guitar players, like in comment sections on YouTube and stuff, is why do you lean so hard on the technical and on the value, and not enough on the, like, oh, this is fun. This is cool. I don't get it. The emotional connection to the instrument matters. And if you show up in a parking lot and help somebody buy something off of Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, it is not the same as walking out of a store for the first time, or getting something, from Sweetwater and opening up the box in your living room for the first time. It's not the same. It just isn't the same. We have all been playing guitar for so long that we may forget what it's like. And we, as experienced guitar players, may enjoy that treasure hunt. You might be that guy who buys the guitar to mod. You might be the guy who buys, the used guitar, and he's out there like looking for the best deal and all. Like, that's super fun. I get it. I mean, I totally get it. I do it with some stuff. We do some antique shopping around here, and I'm not saying I'm against any used anything. So I enjoy that, but I'm looking for, hey buddy, your buddy got up. I'm still shooting my morning video. Hey Bandito.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. I got a text.
I see that. So yeah, we enjoy it. We enjoy the treasure hunt, but they're not doing that. They're looking for the invitation into the hobby for the very first time. Those are different things. Like, they want that excitement, right? Now, maybe their next guitar is used, and maybe they go on, like, what does Joe Bonamassa call it? Like a guitar safari, and that's super cool. But that's not a first time thing for most people. Now, for some people it might be. For some, you might have a friend that would be really into it. I'm not speaking for everyone, but man, for most people, they really, really want. They probably have way more fun picking out the stuff and peeling off the plastic themselves. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, well, probably 40 years ago now, I don't know. An inexpensive entry-level instrument wasn't that great. But now it's great. For $500, you can get something really cool. I think that's pretty neat. And I personally think that about $500 is probably where I would recommend somebody save up to get something. Well, what if they can't afford that? Well, then they can't afford the hobby. I mean, I don't play golf because I can't afford it. Not because I can't afford it, because I don't want to spend the money on it. I don't want to spend the time. I don't want to spend the investment. So that's why I don't. I think I would love it, but I just don't want to invest in it. And I think the ceiling is a lot lower for a guitar player, but I think $500 is probably the number. And if I have a friend, I don't care who it is, I don't care how broke they are, I'm going to tell them $500 is what you need to spend on a guitar. And it's an excellent instrument. It'll be great. You may never need another one, actually, at $500. You may never need another. You may never need to buy another more expensive anything at $500. But buy one that comes with a warranty, a return policy, factory support, dealer support. No mystery in the history where it came from. No surprises. You can probably walk into any dealer anywhere or get on any retailer website, spend $500 and get something cool that you're going to love forever. Absolutely. Well, but you could buy a used guitar for $500 and it would be even a better one than that. But they don't know that and they don't care. It's dumb. It's dumb. I think, and this is the problem, you are optimizing for value. You are optimizing for cost, which I don't know why people, again, I don't know why people do this. And I don't care how broke you are. Focus so much on money. I mean, I get it. It costs money to do stuff. But if you love it, you're going to make it happen. You're just going to make it happen. You have stuff in your life, no matter how broke you think you are, that you just make it happen somehow. You do. You get on Craigslist, you get on Facebook Marketplace. You sell some chopsticks. You sell some, I don't know whatever you got laying around the house, old hubcaps, doesn't matter. And you save up and you do what you need to do and you get what you want over time. It might take time, it might be patience, but you get it. It's dumb. It's dumb. I think instead of maximizing dollars on something that you should love for the rest of your life. So if this guy walks into a guitar store, right? And instead of buying something used that he might have to flip in a few years because it's okay. But he spends $500 on something that he absolutely loves in a guitar store. Maybe he wants to push it and spend $800, whatever. Maybe he gets a PRS SE for whatever, right? $500 to $800, and he's like, "This thing's rad. It looks beautiful. Music, or the wood is awesome. It's pretty. Everything, right?" May never buy another guitar again, ever. He's maximizing dollars. You know why? Because if he plays that guitar for 10 years, now look at the amortization of that product. We think about this so much as guitar players, or you do, I don't, of like, this is how much it costs. It costs so much. But you're like, dude, if you have it for 20 years, man, like, it's a great value. It's a great value. Absolutely great value. And resale and all that stuff, it doesn't matter. Because this guy don't know the difference. At this point, he's just going to be like, you know what? And I always say, keep your first guitar anyway. Never, ever, ever sell your first guitar. So if he goes and he spends $500 or $800 on something, puts a little investment in it, then he keeps it forever. It's not some used janky thing that he has to figure out. There's a lot of hidden costs to used stuff too. Oh, we're going to have to get some deoxit and clean these pots. Oh, we're going to have to replace the jack. Oh, we're going to have to, oh, the nut is actually kind of worn out on this one string. Like that kind of stuff. Or maybe it's not yet, but he plays it a little bit and wears something out because who knows? And the beginner has no idea about that stuff. When you factor in on a new purchase, financing, warranty, dealer support, any included accessories, or even maybe he'll get a discount on accessories the day he buys the guitar. Sometimes some stores do that. The actual owner experience will really be better. Well, nobody should ever finance a guitar. Okay. Just because you are not responsible with revolving financing doesn't mean nobody else is. I know a lot of people, including myself, who have used Sweetwater or Sounds or somebody. I know very responsible people. In fact, we got some friends of mine on our Patreon who use that 12-month stuff, and they do it very responsibly, and they do great with and they're not beginner guitar players. They're, but they do great with it. So just because you are irresponsible or you are worried that somebody is irresponsible, don't project that onto somebody else who can't, I can't control my spending, so therefore I don't use it. Don't project that onto everybody else. There's a lot of people who are very responsible with their spending when it comes to that stuff. And, it might make it to where a $500 guitar spread over, um, Sezzle is 5 payments, or, a firm is it could be 12. Like that might really, really help somebody out, and they might actually be able to get something really new and really cool and really nice, So I think that there's a lot of constructive reasons to tell somebody to buy new. And I think that when we just automatically tell somebody to buy used, I think we're doing them a disservice. Is it always wrong? No, obviously not. But I think for most people, I think the best thing you can do is buy the best guitar that you can afford, or the best guitar that you could save up for in a reasonable amount of time. Honestly, buy the guitar you want from a reputable dealer. Reputable dealer is really important. And don't feel guilty for somebody telling you that you should buy a used guitar. Don't feel guilty for wanting to buy a new one. And if you're one of those people, don't suck the fun out of somebody's new guitar playing experience. There's just something about people that they want to do that to other people. Suck the fun out of it. Don't do that to them.